So speaking a language is part of learning a language, but what do you do when you're starting off or you want to use an app to learn a language? There aren't a lot of apps that offer the ability to speak and practice speaking, especially not ones that allow you to connect with other native speakers. So this video is for you if either you're looking for an app that'll allow you to practice speaking and get some feedback from native speakers, or you use Busuu and haven't fully explored all the social features that it has. Hey, I'm Genevieve from Breakout and Speak, helping you break out and speak, this time on an app, because when you're first learning a language and you try speaking, it can be a little intimidating to start off having a conversation with somebody face to face. So I found this a really helpful way to start practicing speaking little bits that will build you up for further conversations down the line. So let me show you how it works. So let me first share why this can help you learn a language faster, and also then I'll show you how to best use it, adding in some extra tips. First reason why it can help you learn a language faster is that you will want to keep going, because you see people on the other end of learning a language that you'll be able to speak to. When you're just playing with an app by yourself, sometimes you run the risk of feeling like you're just in a bubble, and that's where the language exists. But when you can connect to other people outside of that bubble, you're like, oh, this is pretty cool. I want to keep going. And it helps you keep motivated. In my case, I had a couple people who left really funny comments and some that were really nice and really helpful, which was really an added bonus to making learning a language even more fun. Number 2 reason why this can help you learn a language faster, because you get feedback from native speakers. If you're just practicing the language and you get no feedback, you're not exactly sure if you're doing it right. And it's not random feedback, it's from people who speak that language, which can be really helpful. And reason number 3 is why it can really help you learn a language is because it's really low stakes. Now, when you're first learning a language and you don't really know very much, the thought of speaking to another person in front of you is pretty intimidating, right? You're speaking to a native speaker and you're like, yeah, what do I say? But these activities are really helpful because they're bite-sized. They're a sentence or a few, and it doesn't have to be this big scary thing. It's just a little bit that you work on, you put it out into the world, and it's a great way to get that ball rolling and to build your language confidence and your comfort in speaking the language in little bite-sized pieces. So let me show you 2 ways to take advantage of this awesome feature that Busuu has, and then I'll take you into the community so you know what to expect. So here we are in Busuu, and you can identify the community activities easily by this little icon. And just to say, not all lessons have a community activity, and this also depends on the language. So what they usually do is it is a combination of learn the material and then practice it with the community activity. It is not purely practice speaking, it is not purely learn material. It has both, which is something that I enjoyed. So once you're in an activity which correlates to the material you're learning at this time, you can choose to write your answer or speak your answer. And if you are a little shy, you can start off writing. And even if you would like to try the speaking activity, you can always record your answer, listen back, and then if you don't like it, delete it and record it again if you would like to. So what do you think about a community feature like this? Is that something that you would find useful? Let me know. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. So those speaking activities that are part of your lessons are available on the app Busuu and also on the desktop version. But on the desktop version, let me show you a secret way to access even more opportunities to practice your speaking if you want to. Over here in the Community tab, which is a little harder to find. I'll get to this point in just a moment. If you go over here to Conversation, it will give you a chance to either look at a picture and then talk or write about it in your target language. And the pictures change. So every single, I'm not sure how often they change, but they definitely do. So if you come back at a later date, they'll have different prompts for you to try out. And also, depending on the language, you might have some options to watch a short video clip and then comment on the video, which I find really cool. So how much feedback do you get on your activities? Now, this actually depends on the language. Some communities are more active than others. So when I was learning Portuguese, I usually got multiple comments from multiple people, which is pretty cool. When I was learning some other languages on Busuu, I got fewer, but either way, you usually get somebody that comments back on your activity. So what is the feedback like? This can depend on the person. Everybody's different, right? So some people give you some more details, somebody might just give you a thumbs up and great job. But I found that overall, my experience with the Busuu community was really positive, and I felt like it helped me along my language learning journey and was a positive addition, which is why I'm sharing it with you in case it can be helpful for you too. A question I sometimes get asked is, do you need to comment back on other people's activities? And you might even get a notification that John is looking for your input. You might say, who? What? Okay. But in general, no, you don't need to. But I see it as a large community of other language learners like you. A great way to promote the community of language learners like yourself is to come over here to the community tab, and here are other people who have done activities in Busuu who are trying to learn your native language. And you can either give them a quick feedback, you can also search if you only want to correct audio activities, only written. If you know multiple languages, you can help out in multiple languages. Another aspect of Busuu that makes it a little social is that you can friend people. And essentially, you don't need to, of course, but then it will show in a separate tab, and it can be helpful if you find that some people are commenting more actively on some of your posts or vice versa. It really can help to add to the community. Now, you don't need to. You can help anybody out in the whole community, but if you want to go straight to people who perhaps you've interacted with before, under here, under friends, you can check them out. So let's look at my past conversations here. For example, let's say Portuguese. And if you want to, you can scroll to the beginning of 15 comments. Oh man. All right. To the beginning of time when I was first learning Portuguese, and really see there more my progress and how I've improved over time, which is also kind of a cool aspect as well. So being able to go back and listen to my old activities, it's a little... It's fun. It's kind of cool to see your progress and to see, oh man, this is where I was at the beginning and this is where I was a couple months in, and wow, I can speak like this now. So I found that kind of cool too. A couple of people have asked about this feature I'm about to show you, which is separate. Over here where you see practice, you can book a live lesson. A live lesson is not part of this speaking practice that I've been talking about that's built into the app itself. This is a separate feature. It also has a separate price, but in this way you can connect to a tutor and actually take it a step further if you are interested. So I use Busuu to learn Portuguese, later to fluency, and have played with other languages on it as well. But I found that the social aspect was a big factor that kept me wanting to use the app and also kept me motivated in wanting to know more. So if you know somebody learning a language who might find this feature helpful, then send them this video so they can check it out. And if you're new here, subscribe. Stick around for more tips on how to make it more fun to learn a language and how to break out in the world and speak, because that's the cool part. So happy language learning and catch you soon.